I'd like to get started this morning, this afternoon, really, by introducing our VIP guest, Dr. Clarence Wyatt, president of Monmouth College, who's joined us to provide some welcome remarks. President Wyatt?
And the more exciting part will be after I stop speaking. So just to make that clear, I just want to say welcome to everyone today, and most especially thank you. I mean, these are anxious times. They are scary times for us all, and the lot of things that we really can't be certain of, and in many ways, the virus is the determining factor for a lot of what the next weeks and months will bring for us. I'm confident that we will get beyond it, that we will eventually get control of it. But right now, and for the coming months, it's an anxious time. But there are some things that I am absolutely certain of. One of them is the fact that the faculty, staff, and students like Elizabeth, all who are current students at the college, all of us are working as hard as we can to do two things. Number one, to ensure as much as is humanly possible the health and safety of your sons and daughters. We have had a group working for months now, really, planning, preparing, running through scenarios, following all of the public health guidelines in terms of how we can return to campus in a safe manner. And there will be a lot expected of all of us as we go into the fall. We will be asking our students to exercise a discipline that perhaps may be new to some of them in terms of wearing masks and social distancing and all of those sorts of things. I am absolutely certain of that. I am also certain that those same people are going to work as hard as they can to provide an excellent, rigorous, demanding, supportive educational experience for your children. And I'm obviously speaking more to the parents now, but the message is the same for our incoming students. That has been Monmouth College since 1853. And in terms of both of those things, there will be times where we may fall short. There may be times when you have questions. There may be times when you want to make suggestions. We welcome those, because by the decision that you have made, by the fact that you're on this meeting today, you have made a judgment that this is the place you want to be a part of, and that be a part of it in the full meaning of that phrase. Now, you are now part of this fold, part of this family, and we need your participation in every way in order for us to do the best job we can and to continue to get better. That's a commitment that you now share. The last thing that I am absolutely certain of is that no matter how uncertain things may be, no matter what the challenges are that all of American higher education is facing now, I am absolutely certain of the continuing, transformative, life-changing power of a Monmouth College education. Some of you may know a little bit about my background. Most of you probably don't. I'm not only first generation college, I'm first generation high school. My parents' formal education stopped at the 8th grade. And I was blessed, and I do not use that term lightly, I was blessed to attend a college much like Monmouth. And I know from personal experience, and I know from, as I have said to some folks before, I have spent my entire life on a college campus since I was 17 years old, and you can just tell by looking at me that that's been some time. Because of what this kind of educational experience did for me, I have been fortunate to be able to work and live to try to return that. And each person that you see from the college on this presentation today, each person that you have encountered, each person that you will encounter as you go through, as you become more and more a part of the Monmouth College family, shares that very same commitment. So even in a time of great uncertainty, there are things that we can count on. And those are the things that I can count on, that you can count on in terms of Monmouth College. So I know you all have a full program, full set of things to get through, a lot of stuff to do. So I'm going to step away and turn it back over to my friends from the college, Kristen and Marnie and Elizabeth and Michelle, and let you have a great session. But let me just close by saying welcome and thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Kristen, you're muted.
Thank you so much, Michelle. And thank you to President Wyatt for being with us this morning. I always appreciate hearing his remarks at events like these, and we're grateful for his time today. So one of our favorite parts of the orientation event usually is the student-to-student interaction, and we did have student orientation group meetups this morning at 10 o'clock, so hopefully students or parents, for those of you on the call, your students were able to join those this morning and get a little bit of interaction with our current student orientation leaders and mentors. Our current students are the best people we can lean on to help our new incoming students get acclimated and feel welcome and manage the sometimes overwhelming feeling of being a new college student. So we also wanted to invite one of our current students here today to provide a brief welcome on behalf of the current student population and student leadership at Monmouth College to say hello to our new incoming students and families. Lisbeth?
Hello, and thank you, Kristen. As I mentioned, my name is Lisbeth Gutierrez. I am a senior at Monmouth College, majoring in sociology and anthropology with a concentration on human services. I'm from Chicago, the neighborhood La Villita. I was the first one in my family to leave Chicago, the Chicago area, to go away for college, which was kind of a hard process for my family since they are from Mexico and they don't speak English. So it was kind of hard for them to help me with the college process. But I did receive a lot of help from like Monmouth staff and from like my high school counselors to make that transition. So I was really glad, like I picked Monmouth because it is a small school and I was able to get like that close connection between like friends and like the staff. But at first, like when I moved in, I was a little scared because I didn't know anybody. I was the first one in my high school to go there. I felt a little lonely, but like throughout the days, like there's a lot of like activities going on and you get to meet a lot of great people. And I'm also pretty glad I went to Monmouth because they do help a lot of like financially, and I was very interested in like the programs they provide. And also because when I get to go home on the weekends, my mom makes me like my favorite food and like beans, which she would always make them. But now at Monmouth, I like miss them. So she likes to pamper me and stuff. So that's one of like the good things. Also, like Monmouth has provided me with like a lot of opportunities, like being the president for Raices, which is the Latino organization on campus. And through that organization, I was able to attend a 3-day conference in Chicago, which is USHLI, the Hispanic Leadership Institute, for all Latino students around the US, which was really amazing. I was also able to partner in an internship at a nonprofit that's also at Monmouth. And this past semester, I studied abroad in Mexico, which was a really amazing experience. It brought me closer to like my roots and my culture. So overall, I'm really satisfied with the decision I've made with Monmouth, and I'm really excited to have you all join us in our home at Monmouth this upcoming fall.
Thank you so much. It's really nice to have you with us today. I'm hearing an echo. Okay, now it's getting a little better. The joy of technology. We have all the same hiccups that we have at in-person events. They just look a little bit different. So, Lisbeth, I have good news for you. Your mom making food for you, in my experience, is something that does not go away with age. Every time I go home to visit my mom, she waits on me hand and foot like I'm 14 again. So it's got that to look forward to. But We have kept you really busy this morning, Lizbeth. We really appreciate all your time. We're going to let Lizbeth hop off here as well because she's already given us way more for Saturday than she's obligated to. So thank you again for being with us this morning and for your welcoming remarks. We really appreciate it.
Thank you. Have a good one.
So with that, we're going to transition into a slide presentation. We do have some information that we want to share with you today. Let me just share my screen quickly. Got too many windows open at one time. All right, Marnie and Michelle, can you be my checkers? Are you looking at my Scott Summer Orientation welcome slide? Excellent.
Yep.
So what we'd like to cover for most of this morning's or this afternoon's opening session is kind of a quick overview of all of the content that we'll be reviewing in this afternoon's breakout session, as well as a reminder about some of the really important details we want to make sure that you have on the radar when it comes to moving in here in just a few short weeks and our plans for the fall semester. Obviously, this is an incredibly unusual year, and we are all taking things day by day. We appreciate all of your patience and confidence throughout this process. And although most of the content we're going to cover today is a little more transactional than what we would normally like to do for an orientation event, I don't want that to take away from how excited we are and how excited you should feel, students in particular, about transitioning from high school to college. Starting college, going to college, moving in at college is such a life-changing experience. I remember my first week of college like it was yesterday. And even though we're going to go through a lot of, kind of housekeeping and details today about our return to campus plan, move-in, and fall orientation, which is all, as we know, going to look a little different this year, I don't want that to take away from the excitement. I can't tell you how thrilled we are that you've chosen Monmouth and how excited we are to welcome you to the Monmouth family. So first, I just want to make everyone aware or remind you, for those of you who are already aware, that we do have a link on the homepage of our Monmouth College website to the full text of our return to campus plan. So if you go to monmouthcollege.edu and scroll down a little bit, you'll see this bar of 4 boxes and a link to the full text of the return to campus plan. This is going to cover in much greater detail than we'll have time for today all of our detailed plans for the fall regarding masks and social distancing, move-in, orientation, residence life, dining, music, athletics. There's also complete academic calendars for both the fall and spring semester. So please know that that is a resource for you and that you'll have access to that. We continue to update that document regularly as our plans evolve and solidify because, of course, we're in an ever-evolving situation and we want to make sure to keep you as updated as we can. So just a quick review of our modified academic calendar. I'm sure everyone is aware by now, but a reminder that we have decided to begin classes early this year. The first day of classes will be Tuesday, August 18th. We will have no fall break, and the last day of classes on campus will be Tuesday, November 24th, which is the week of Thanksgiving. All students will move home for the winter break after Tuesday, November 24th. And our finals will be delivered exclusively remote, so students will stay home after the Thanksgiving break the week of November 30th through December 4th. There will be an extended winter break this year. We're getting a lot of questions about spring 2021. And those are great questions. As of this moment, our plan is to start spring 2021 on campus in line with our original schedule, which would mean classes begin Thursday, January 14th. Again, this is an ever-evolving situation. That plan could change. If it does, we will absolutely be in communication with you. The COVID response group, President Wyatt indicated, is meeting very regularly, is going to continue to meet for the rest of the summer and into the fall. And if we have to adjust things for spring, we will certainly let you know. So at this time, I'd like to pass things over to my colleague, Michelle Merritt, who's going to talk a bit about move-in and our fall orientation. Michelle serves as our Associate Vice President for Student Life and Co-Dean of Students. Michelle?
Thanks, Kristen. I just want to first take a moment and just express my excitement and just welcome you to the Monmouth family. So students, I know last semester was very trying as we had to move home and learn remotely. I have 5 kids at home and we all did it, but if you're anything like my kids, they're ready to get back to campus, get back with their friends, get back to their sports. And so anyway, we're really excited that you're here. For the families, I welcome to the Scott family. Again, excited. I know that there are a lot of mixed emotions out there for family members, guardians, cousins, whoever's bringing them to campus. I know, I moved 3 children into college already, and I was excited for them. I was really excited for them to get on with it, but I was also a little nervous about them leaving. And then you put COVID-19 on top of it, and it's difficult. So please know that we're here for you, and that's why we're talking today. And I encourage you to attend those sessions so we have more information to alleviate some of those anxieties that you may have. So let me get on with this. So move in. We are so close. I can't believe it. So your student safety is our #1 priority. We are parents, and that is my #1 priority when looking at our processes, our procedures, our programs, anything. We are in accordance with the CDC. We are constantly in contact with our Warren County Health Department. So please know that anything we do is definitely with your student safety in mind. New students will move in on Saturday, and 2 things. You're going to get more details later, and it's on our plan, but we've staggered times based on last name. And we do this because we're trying to reduce the density in our residence halls so that you're not on top of each other when you're moving your students' items in, and we're just safe. We're just more safe. The other thing is we ask that only 2 family members or friends or girlfriend or boyfriend come into the residence hall at one time. Now, that doesn't mean you can't bring other family members to campus or in the car, but we really ask that if you're going to come onto campus, it's only 2 family members or two members. And again, it's for safety purposes. So we don't know yet about fall sports. We're waiting on some decisions from the Midwest Conference right now that will then impact your ability to move back to campus. So as soon as we know, you will know. Let's see here. So then once the new students move back onto campus on the 15th, our returning students will come back the very next day. So we'll have a full house. We're excited. All right, so fall orientation. So this is the time when you get to meet your peers, more of your teammates, more than just virtually. So I know you've had time doing that over the course of the summer, but on Saturday, when you move in that evening, the students will have dinner with their residence hall community members. And the rest of the time, so the full next day on Sunday, we will have a hybrid of activities. You'll get together with your small groups, your orientation groups, and the mentors and the orientation leaders who you've already met, hopefully virtually, will be leading those sessions. We're going to be walking you around campus, getting you familiar with where your classes are going to be, picking up your books, your IDs, your parking permits, that kind of thing. So again, it's a hybrid model. We're going to be doing some things virtually, but again, we're using very safe practices with masks and social distancing. And the other thing is that if you want to view the full schedule, it's online. And for commuter students will actually begin on Sunday, and we'll have more details coming about that soon. All right, we have a lot of student athletes out there, and I know you're excited to get back to campus, and we're excited you're going to be here. So for everybody's sake, just like high school, I know there's a lot of stuff on the news and social media. We just want you to know that we are using a phased approach with like every other high school, college, and university. We're using all safety measures with practices, with taking temperatures, and practice times. So the other thing I wanted to let you know is that we have definitely referred to the action plan considerations that were released by the NCAA Chief Medical Officer, Brian Hainline. And so we are definitely using all of our resources to plan safe practices and safe games. For more information, please attend our session. Our director, Roger Haynes of athletics, will be there, and he can answer things in more detail for you. Thanks, Kristen.
Thank you so much, Michelle. I really appreciate that. I'm not muted, right?
No.
Oh, technology. I just want to add, because we've been working closely with our incoming student athletes and their parents, we are going to have a lot of additional details at the 3:15 session. However, there are questions that you have that unfortunately we're just not able to answer yet today. What we're trying to avoid is giving you information and then in 2 days it changes, and then in 2 days it changes, and then in 2 days it changes. Much of our decision making is reliant on decisions at the conference level, as Michelle indicated. So I know you're all anxious for a very specific move-in date for your athletes. We will have that very soon. But what we don't want to do, again, is tell you one date and then wait, actually it's this one, wait, actually it's 2 days later. We really want to make sure that when we can communicate the information to you, it is accurate and correct, and it's hopefully not going to change. So we appreciate all of your patience with that. I do also just want to add regarding move-in day on Saturday, August 15th, and orientation, the Saturday itself is going to look a little different than it has in past years, in that we are going to be asking parents and family members who accompany their student to move in to depart campus a little sooner than we normally would. We often like to have at the end of move-in day a large welcome event. It's kind of a formal event that we call matriculation for all of our new incoming students and parents and guests. We worked really hard on ideas about that, but there's simply no way to do the in-person version of that in a safe way that facilitates social distancing and public health concerns. So parents, as a heads up, once you move your student in, we will be asking you to say your goodbyes and depart campus within 2 hours. The best advice I've ever heard is to say goodbye at the car, in the parking lot, and not in your room. Sometimes students can be a little emotional after that goodbye, and that gives them the opportunity to maybe take a walk around campus or have a little time to themselves before they have to go back and interact with their roommate or anybody else who's living in their hall. So next up, I just want to cover a couple additional housekeeping items. I know most of you at this point are focused on packing up things for your residence hall room, thinking about posters and photos you're going to hang on the wall, choosing that first day of orientation outfit. But we do want to make sure that you're also thinking about some of the checklist items that we need from you in the admission office. If you have not already, now is the time to finalize your financial aid. If you have any questions about what you may or may not still need to do, please don't hesitate to contact us in the admission office or in the Office of Student Financial Planning. You want to make sure that you've accepted all of your aid, that you've finalized entrance counseling and master promissory notes for any loans you may be borrowing, students or parents. We can help you with all of that if you're unsure of what you might be missing. We also need a final copy of your official high school transcript with the graduation date. So please make sure we have that in the admission office if you've not already submitted it. Sometimes high schools will process those automatically, which is really helpful. We also need copies of any college transcripts for dual credit. So if you've earned credit from a community college or another institution while you were in high school, if you want that credit to be applied at Monmouth, we do have to have an official copy of the transcript from the college. We also have health forms and athletic forms for incoming student athletes that we require you to complete. Links to all of these can be found on our admission website under the new student checklist. And we'll be talking a lot more about this in the 1 o'clock dollars and cents session, but a reminder that fall bills are due August 1st. We'll be talking about payment plan options and adding your parents as a proxy in your account, students, so they can view all of your billing information. So if you have questions about that, please feel free to join us at 1 o'clock or reach out to us separately, or you can plan to watch the recording as well. So there's one more breakout session we'll be offering this afternoon that we've not talked much about yet, and we do want to make sure that we can tease that information for you in case you may be interested. So I've invited our colleague Marnie Dugan to share a little bit about what they'll be covering in our Classroom to Careers session. Marnie?
Good afternoon, everyone. So I currently serve as the director of the Wackerly Center for Career Leadership and Fellowships on campus. And so I hope you'll join me and our Associate Academic Dean, Stacy Lotes, for our Classroom to Careers presentation later today. So during this session, we'll discuss not only the academic transition from high school to college and what to expect and how to prepare, but we'll also be talking a lot about the support and resources that students receive at Monmouth throughout their time here to assist them in preparing for that post-Monmouth transition, whether that be employment, graduate or professional school, or service programs like the Peace Corps. So during our time, we're going to talk a lot about our holistic advising approach and how we work closely from the career side along with the academic side to really advise the whole student. We're going to talk a lot about how we're intentional about meeting with first-year students. We think it's very important for students to connect their academic and career goals very early on. So we'll talk a little bit about how we go about doing that. And then we'll talk a lot about how we help students identify and explore opportunities both in and out of the classroom, things such as job shadow, internship opportunities, research opportunities, those things that are going to help students acquire the skills and experiences that they're going to need for their career and beyond. So that's just a little snippet of what you'll hear in our afternoon session. So I hope that we'll see many of you there. And we're so excited to welcome everyone in the fall. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Barney. So just a reminder, since we've been talking a lot about them, we tried to break up the content for today into several different sessions. We are not necessarily interested in keeping everyone on a virtual WebEx for 5 solid hours, but there is a lot to cover, and obviously it's much more challenging to do virtually. So all of this afternoon session are completely optional. Join us if you want. You don't have to, and again, they will be recorded. So if you're not able to join a session but you're interested, please know that you'll be able to access the full recording online. All 4 of these sessions will also feature a Q&A, which we are not doing in this opening session. So if you have specific questions, they may be covered in the content of the session anyway, but you can definitely join us to chat in your questions after the fact. We've tried to keep the content itself short. Most of these sessions we anticipate will run about 30 minutes. The Fighting Scots Athletics may run a little long depending on questions, we'll see. But at 1 o'clock, myself and my colleague Jessica Johnston from the business office will review dollars and cents, money matters. We'll be talking about the fact that bills are due August 1st, how you can pay your bill, payment plans, how students and parents can access billing information online. I'd be happy to address any questions people have about outstanding financial aid, paperwork, work study, things like that. At 1:45, you just heard Marnie talk about the session she'll be hosting with our colleague Stacy Lotes from the faculty on supporting student success from classroom to careers, where they'll speak about our career development, leadership development opportunities, service opportunities, academic advising, choosing a major. I know many of your students or many of you students are undecided on a major coming in. Wackerly can help with that as well. At 2:30, our colleagues from Student Life and Residence Life, Michelle and John, will be covering student life and living on campus. There you'll find lots more details about the move-in process and what life in the residence halls is going to look like for students this fall. And then at 3:15, myself, Michelle, and our athletic director, Roger Haynes, will cover Fighting Scots Athletics. We'll share lots of information with you that we would normally communicate to student athletes over the summer for new incoming families. We also have, of course, some specific, here's what this looks like in 2020 information to share as well. So I am going to conclude my screen share at that. And I just want to thank you again to everyone for spending a little time with us today, and for, again, all of your patience and compassion and flexibility this spring and summer. It's been such a joy to work with all of you, and it's been really fun to interact with students and families. And I've been impressed by the resilience of the students in particular, who are just kind of taking things in stride this year, Graduation looked a little different. Starting college is going to look a little different, but we want to do everything we can to make sure that that doesn't take away from the experience of coming to college and especially joining the Monmouth College Fighting Scott family. So we are going to conclude our opening session at this time. Again, we hope to see you this afternoon. If you're not able to join us this afternoon and you do have specific questions, you're also welcome at any point to reach out directly to your admission counselor. We are here to serve as sort of concierge for you all summer. We'd love to chat with you about anything specific. Thank you so much, and we hope to see you later this afternoon.